Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And a funny thing happened this week. A lot of people started to backpedal. Paul Tassi of Forbes, who has spent a lot of time attacking Star Wars theory, now sounds...
And people over Acolyte.
Over the Acolyte, yeah. Now he sounds exactly like Star Wars theory and the people who didn't like the Acolyte.
Everything we pointed out in our video yesterday, I think we actually did it the day before too, we just didn't run that video, is what he's saying in his article. Like everything. Every point that the normies are making.
It's interesting that the title of this article is 3 Red Flags about Star Wars, because I think a lot of these journos, to keep their jobs, are going to be waving the red flag because they know the red wind is blowing through. We have another video coming up too, talking about just how quickly all these businesses are pivoting, and Forbes is already kind of a conservative media outlet.
I don't think it's a red wind so much as just, normalcy.
Yeah.
Because by saying it's a red, wave or red wind or whatever, that just means that people voted Republican. That does not mean that, it's going to be alt-right crap. That's not what they're saying.
No.
What they're saying is, I think it's a wave of normalcy is going back to this. And you're going to have to pivot back to center. I think that's what's going on.
Well, I think what they're realizing because of the voting demographics is that more than half the country voted conservative this time, and you cannot sit there and call them all Nazis and fascists and bigots and homophobes.
Some are still trying.
Blah, blah, blah. They're trying, and it's not going very well for them. And I think Paul here is reading the tea leaves, and he realizes he's not going to have a job much longer if he doesn't, cool it a little bit.
It's just so funny. This article, wait till we go through this article. It's just so funny because if you've watched our videos before about what Paul was saying with the Acolyte, basically calling people toxic and the dude bros and the fanboys, and they're hating on they hate against diversity and all this other crap. Totally like smear fests. And then how he addresses the Acolyte situation in this article. It is like a 180. It is so funny. So before we get into it any further,
please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Go out to clownfishminus.com, help support the channel, get some exclusive content, and you can get merchandise discounts. We got lots of merch here. Been moving a lot of hats and a lot of Disney shirts this week, so thank you very much.
Yep.
More stuff coming before the holidays. So yeah, this is interesting because it's not going the way that they thought it was going to go. To paraphrase Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill, who was shocked that things went the way that they went.
I just don't understand how I still cannot comprehend how people are shocked, because if you've been paying any attention at all, even not just anecdotal, not just like, people like us, just the returns on these shows, on the movies, on the decisions that were made that were very, very far left, and how they bombed and how they lost money and how all this stuff was going on, should have been an indicator that globally, and at least in the United States, people were not on board, and you're starting to lose the audience. That should come as no surprise to anyone, unless you, like I said, in the echo chamber, and you only are listening to the same people tell you that, it was one thing. The sky was green when it was blue.
Well, yeah, and I think that's it. They were in the echo chamber.
It wasn't blue either, huh?
And it turns out that, the country is pivoting back to at least center.
Well, they kept calling it the red mirage, like it was going to be fake. Like, it wasn't going to happen. It's a mirage.
I saw that too. I'm like,
mirage my ass.
No. All right. So this sounds very familiar. It sounds like a lot of the talking points that we have had that other YouTubers.
Everything we said in our video yesterday.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway.
3 red flags about Disney's Star Wars trilogy. He said there are currently conflicting reports among the trade as to what's going on, whether or not it's getting. We don't know if it's going to be a Rey movie or a whole new trilogy about Rey.
We don't know yet. We don't know yet which way it's going to go. We don't know if it's a new trilogy or the one they were talking about for Rey before.
So here are the red flags.
I love this. This is so funny.
So you sound like a Nazi, Paul.
Oh my God.
You sound like one of the alt-right Star Wars chuds.
You bigot.
These days it's more easy to be skeptical of newly announced Star Wars movie plans and excited, not just because you can debate the quality of Disney's offerings so far.
Wait, whoa. You're allowed to debate the quality of Disney's offerings so far? Because just a couple weeks ago, Paul, you weren't. Everybody was bigots. They were chuds because they didn't like the new Disney stuff. Which is it?
Red flag number 1, all the canceled projects. We had Patty Jenkins, Rogue One.
Apparently that's still supposed to be in play, but I'm not sure
I
yet.
don't believe it. David Benioff and D.B. Weiss's Star Wars trilogy, the Rian Johnson trilogy, the Kevin Feige trilogy, the J.D. Dillard movie, Taika Waititi Star Wars movie.
It's supposed to be on indefinite hold, but yes.
The Rey movie losing its writer.
Again.
He said there are still a couple in the works, but the only... There's still a couple in the works, but the only 100% headed to theaters movie is The Mandalorian and Grogu. So needless to say, another trilogy being in the works feels like far from a guarantee. This is actually going to happen. I'll believe it when I see an actual trailer.
You alt-right bigot.
I'm telling you, they're waiting.
Fanboy chud.
You chud. They're waiting to see how the Mando movie does, because if it doesn't do well, they probably will just throw Star Wars back on TV.
Well, Mandalorian and Grogu was probably their best shot at having a film right now.
But they're not going to... Disney is not in a position where they can drop another $200 million on a Star Wars movie that's going to fail.
Actually, I think Patty Jenkins with her Rogue Squadron, she had done a Rogue Squadron that was back in like the time of the original trilogy and stuff. I think it would have done really well.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was excited about that one.
And she was a chick, and she got her hands tied and got fed up. Oh, I know. I knew you'd love this one.
Young fool.
No, wait, number 2.
Red flag number 2, Simon Kinberg. I made a big point of this in our video. It's common sense.
I mentioned it in my article I did a couple days ago too.
Yeah, this guy is all over the place, and mostly he's known for failing the Dark Phoenix saga twice, both in X-Men The Last Stand and the Dark Phoenix movie. Both times done very, very badly compared to the comic book iteration, which, I mean, admittedly, it would be hard to do because they don't have rights to all the characters and stuff, and it was a big galactic thing. But yeah, they sucked. Both of those movies sucked.
He did. I didn't know he did the 2015 Fantastic Four movie too.
Oh God,
it was not good.
He was co-creator of Rebels, and he did write some good episodes, but so it's not his first dance with the franchise. Not exactly the type of person you'd imagine would produce some brilliant return to form trilogy for the franchise. Get the Godzilla guy, the Godzilla 1 guy.
Oh my God, Godzilla 1 guy might get to do Marvel. And side note, I'm so excited for him. I mean, not that he gets to do Marvel, because I mean, I wouldn't wish that on anyone, but he was so excited. Like when him and his team, when they were over here, because they got an award Academy Award for Godzilla. And when they were over here, they were just so excited to meet all their heroes. And then the people their heroes were telling them how much they liked their movie. And their joy was just so cute. You just wanted to hug them because they're just so sweet and so enthusiastic. And I just wish them all the best. Anyway.
Red flag 3, a non-Skywalker era. I'm perfectly fine moving away from the Overmind Skywalker era.
Do you notice how he goes red flag instead of red pill? Did you notice that?
I think he's going to pivot. I mean, he kind of was in the middle before, and then he went pretty hard against the chuds, and now he's sounding like one of them.
Oh, there was a word for that. Was it grifting? Anyway, sorry.
Essentially, every Disney project so far is either directly linked to the Skywalkers or literally contains Skywalkers. The only completely separated offering was the Acolyte, the massively budgeted, little-watched series that was canceled after only one season.
Whoa. Paul, wait. Paul, are you being held hostage? I mean, are you actually him, or you have aliens invaded your body?
Oh,
because he only gets it. No, he does get a dig in, but it's only a little minor one. It was an attempt to make a live action High Republic content that may have been better than internet drama gave it credit for. No, but it cannot be viewed as a success. What? How many articles did Paul Tassi do on the Acolyte? And how, and how great the Acolyte was, and how everybody else was sucked and everything else. How many articles?
Oh, a lot.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but he admits, it was canceled. It wasn't watched. It was too expensive.
So, yeah. So then, he brings up another point, too, that a lot of us have mentioned. If they go forward instead of backward, they're doing so without any of the 3 leads of the original movies. All 3 were killed off on screen. You might have Rey Skywalker, but that doesn't really count.
I wouldn't say.
What the hell?
Rey Skywalker? Because Skywalker, because she took the last name Skywalker, but she doesn't count because she's not a Skywalker. What? No. Oh my God. If this was like a week ago, you would be labeled every name under the sun, and you would be expected to apologize. And then there'd be article or be like video after video after video and article after article after article talking about, how you're alt-right and you're chud and you are somehow, well, even if you weren't a male and you are, but I mean, you somehow, even if you're a woman, you're a straight white male and everything else because you're misogynistic, you're sexist, you're racist, for pointing out the obvious that, they killed the original leads off in the movies, which was stupid, and Rey Skywalker isn't a Skywalker. How very dare you? I can't. No, seriously, Paul, welcome to the club.
Maybe Paul was fired and they're just using his byline and they're writing these articles with AI.
I don't know. Paul, welcome to the party. No, in all seriousness though, I'm glad you took you were red pilled. I'm sorry, red flagged. And I'm glad that you're now starting to see that, Rey isn't a Skywalker. That's pushing it. The Acolyte did not do well.
It did not.
Even if but you are allowed to like it.
You're allowed to like it.
But I remember when you were having meltdowns because others didn't, blaming it on review bombing and everything else. So you're allowed to. You're allowed. But I mean, it's just, your entire take is just 180'd.
So is he going to apologize to Star Wars Theory? Because he really...
Was he going to apologize to the fandom in general?
Yeah, but he went hard in the paint after Star Wars Theory. And Star Wars Theory has always been pretty middle of the road. And
we're also very middle of the road for the most part.
I think some of Paul's... Because I read some of these other articles, and he put Star Wars Theory on blast. And I think they were bordering on defamation. Because he was constantly trying to blame Star Wars Theory for all the backlash against the Acolyte.
I don't know. I mean, that's very hard to prove.
As a Forbes writer, though, it's not a good look, regardless, because it's you're supposed to stick to news, right? You're not supposed to wade.
Well, maybe there's a manifesto that you need to stick to news now.
So
stick to facts, maybe. I don't know.
Have a theory about that, and it is going to actually kind of gel with the other video we're doing. I think that a lot of these companies are telling their people to stick to facts. We talked about Kotaku the other day with Alyssa Mercante, and she got gone a day after she had a major hissy fit meltdown on Twitter. Mm-hmm. And
you mean the one that she didn't actually blame men in her statement?
Oh, the one, yeah.
I know. I watched that. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Kiss my ass. Go ahead.
Anyway. Some people didn't watch the whole video.
Clearly not. Anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, she had a major meltdown. Next day, she's suddenly leaving on her own. She just decided to leave on her own. I'm like, no, I think it's called shut the fuck up or you're fired.
Or she was asked to leave. I don't know.
Yeah.
I do not believe it was her choice. Let's put it that way.
I don't think it was her choice.
But we don't know for sure.
No, I would bet heavily on pushed out. Even if she wasn't directly fired, I think it's, this is, and I talked a little bit about this before, like Amazon with the back to work mandate and all that. They're basically trying to weed out employees. I think they're like, okay, Alyssa, going forward, you're not going to engage people on social media. You got to keep your mouth shut. You can't talk politics. You just have to stick to facts. You think you can do that? You misogynist, bigot, racist, Trump lord. Okay, bye. There's the door. We're not renewing your contract. See ya. So yeah, I think they're all playing nice.
I don't know, but I mean, hey, look at if Paul's going to be like, hey, man, I'm going to be rational now.
Or I'm going to pretend to be.
But I mean, okay, fine. Then welcome to the club. Everything you're saying is what people like us that you've been mad about this whole time have been saying the exact same things. That doesn't mean you can't like the Acolyte or you can't like other shows. It's just factually, if you're basing on facts, the audiences didn't.
No.
And that's just the way it is. And, everything you said is everything that we've been saying and other people like us have been saying that we have gotten harassed over and called names over. And so, we're more than, welcome in. You're allowed, welcome to the dark side, I guess.
Apologize to Star Wars Theory.
Yes.
I thought you really did him dirty.
Apologize to Star Wars fans, too, because you basically just running around calling everybody a bunch of, toxic fans and all that crap, in all your articles. You might not have said that verbatim, but that was the implication. So, you can always offer an apology. I don't know if they'll accept it, but you can offer it. But I'm just saying, there you go. So now what's up is down, what's right is left, and, everything everybody's been saying this entire time, it's apparently true now because Trump won. It's the only difference I see.
All right. Are we going to wrap this up?
Yep.
I think we need to wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Join the Reef. go to clownfish-.com. That's clownfish-.com. You will get exclusive access to podcasts and videos and comic strips and more, as well as merch discounts. Check it out. If you were a member, you could get this t-shirt, this dismal t-shirt on our website. You'd get a 10% discount on that. You can also join in the community on clownfish-.com. Thank you so much for the support.